Okay, it can be good or bad, so you really have to be careful about who it is that is trying to come into your life, and what it is like that they're presenting you with. Because one of the main energies I'm getting here, based on all the other cards, is that you have an innate sense of knowing who's telling you the truth and who's being honest with you. All right. I do feel that deep down there might be a little bit of disappointment coming through when it comes to your social interactions with friends and loved ones in general. Mainly because I do feel that, the first row in this spread is indicating to me a little bit of pain, disappointment, and possibly even feeling a little bit discouraged, mainly because somebody is not being truthful and honest with you. And I do feel that this is a situation where you are aware that they haven't been faithful or they haven't been truthful. And you have this deep sense of self-knowing that you're getting your intuition is kicking in overdrive, and you're telling yourself, no, this person is, has always been like that, and I shouldn't give it another go, or I shouldn't give them another chance to disappoint me. You're not going to call them out on it. I don't feel conflict. I don't sense disagreement. I feel that you're just going to let it stay there, and you're not going to entertain the thoughts of dealing with that other person. For a lot of you, you might be dealing with a water sign. So water signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And I do feel that this is somebody that is still trying to get your attention, but you're turning your back. You're turning your back, you're focusing on your own life. You don't want to be associated with the drama, potentially, that this water sign is bringing into your life, okay? So it's a very good energy, I would say. I don't sense anything catastrophic is happening from this because, we do have, despite having the Three of Swords, which indicates to me a little bit of pain, but in this regards, I do sense you're going to be okay. You're coming up as the High Priestess, in which you trust your own sense of self-knowing. You trust your intuition. You're trusting your guts about this person's intentions. And as a result of it, you're going to be in a good place. So this Three of Swords does indicate to me a little bit of disappointment. But that situation is it's one of those things that was going to happen anyways. And as a result, you are able to cast the other person aside and to move on with your life. And it's basically sending out a clear signal that you'd rather be alone than to have, to put up with people and their drama, which is a good energy. It's an empowering energy. In terms of finances, we do see a little bit of a dip coming throughout this month. So we are starting out with the Queen of Pentacles, which is somebody who is very, very financially dependent or independent, financially stable, okay? And I do sense a lot of you, there might be family members, there might be friends, there might be somebody that you are very emotionally close to who will demand, some type of financial help from you. I do feel that it could be, an elderly male figure in your family. It's somebody who's slightly older, who might not have the means to take care of him or herself, I would say. I'm sensing more of masculine energy, but it can be gender neutral. It can just be, older female, for example. But I do feel that this is something that you are debating. You're kind of like flip-flopping back and forth, whether or not you should give out this monetary help. And I do sense that if you do it, it's going to make you feel quite good, even though you don't entirely trust this person's motives. I do sense you are going to do it. And you kind of have it in the back of your mind that, okay, if I part with that money, I don't feel like I'm going to get it back again. And I do sense that, for this month, you're probably not going to get it back. But I do feel further down the line, like in a period of 4 months, in the progression of 4 months, 5 months, you're going to be able to recoup half of it. So whatever it is that you're lending out, they're going to make empty promises, and they're going to say, this and that, and they're going to tell you like some imaginary time frame that they're going to be able to pay you back. But I do sense that it's going to take like 4 or 5 months for them to pay back half, and then it could possibly take another like 2, 3 weeks, like another month, for them to pay off everything. And by that time, they're serious that, okay, you're not going to put up with their behaviors anymore. So I feel like, just don't lend out money this month in general, because I don't feel it's going to detract from you, because you are very innately stable. They sense that you're very stable, and that's why they're asking you in the first place. And I do feel whoever you're dealing with has very, very poor management skills, money management skills. They are also showing up as a king energy, which is somebody in the reverse, which indicates to me that it's somebody that might have been once very stable, but now they've hit, some rough patches in their life. So I do feel they are sincere in that they need the money, but it's the talk that comes along with it that makes you feel a little bit distrustful. So, instead of just presenting the case and just telling you, in concrete ways, I'm going to pay this back 6 months down the road, they don't really want to do that. They tell you, oh, it's going to be next month, and then it's going to actually take 4 or 5 months, okay? So deal with this however you feel is appropriate. But I do sense that you all have a very, very good heart. So I'm not surprised. I do feel that you're going to help them out, and you're going to feel quite good about it. You're going to at least feel that it was the right thing to do. You want to give people multiple chances, multiple opportunities. So if it's just money, it doesn't affect you in an emotional way. So you're going to be able to help them out financially. And I do sense they are going to appreciate it greatly. Okay, so no matter what, I do feel that you're going to help them out, and I do feel that they are going to pay it down the line. Not this month, but further down the line. Also keep in mind that when it comes to work situations, a lot of you, especially if you have like multiple employment opportunities, I do sense that a lot of you are getting like, you're either working in a project-based capacity where, one work contract would be for the duration of that project, and then once that ends, then you're jumping onto other things, or you could be handling 3 separate projects at the same time, for example. 2 of them might be ending this month, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I need to go get something a little bit more stable, or I need to find out more projects. I need to find out my next project so that, you have a steady income stream coming through. And I do feel you are going to be successful, because there's definitely new projects coming through, new opportunities on the financial front coming through as well. So I do feel a lot of you are kind of like deciding between 4 projects. 2 of them are ending, so you're picking on more work at the end of this month, and you're basically at a point where you are very much sought after by whoever it is, the hiring officials, okay? So not to worry. They have you in mind. They enjoy looking at your resume. They know you're definitely capable, and there are definitely projects that are really, in alignment with the things that you enjoy. So I do feel more multiple work projects coming through, and you get to pick and choose whatever it is that you want to do. And I do sense for a lot of you, you're piecing together multiple work, like part-time jobs, or even multiple projects in order to meet the quota for, your income for the month. So it looks very, very positive in that regards. I do have at the center of this spread here is the 4 of Swords in the reverse position and the Sun card. And this is a very powerful, potent energy for manifestation and for success, okay? So we're starting out the beginning of this month with a pretty laid back energy. You might have free time the beginning of this month, and you're just like, you finally can get a breather, and you can relax and do recreational reading, and you can go out and just enjoy your life. And because the energy is not kinetic, so you're taking a breather, you're taking some time off, and you're focusing on yourself, you're focused on work. And you're also focusing on, finding new work once the old work ends. So that's the energy that you're projecting right now. However, by the end of this month, I do feel that you're going to, not that the environment around you is imposing a lot of busy energy upon you, but you're actually going to go out and seek more opportunities to socialize, to date, to just really have a good time, to bask in, the warm weather before the air turns chilly. But either way, the people that are around you are very, very receptive to you. I do feel that, we have one person kind of eyeing you and trying to uh, what I'm sensing is like almost a stealth sneak attack. It's like this person is very much interested. You've turned your back and you're telling them like, no, you're not really my type. I do feel them, whoever it is coming back in one more time at the end of the month to try to pursue you. And then you're kind of walking out of the picture. So I do feel definitely socially dating is going to be good for you. It's going to be in your best interest, mainly because you're generating a lot of buzz. You have this gravitational pull about you, and people are very, very receptive. You're projecting a very carefree, a very childlike energy, which the opposite sex or whoever, whatever genders you're dating, they find very alluring. So it's a good month to really get out there and socialize. I do sense as well with the Death card and the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a massive card of karma, okay? And it can be good or bad. It can be, paying it forward so that the good karma comes back to reward you. Or it can be in a way where it's like somebody is doing something to you and now they're getting theirs. And I do feel there is a significant person in your life that might have hurt you, and they're dealing with the ramifications of their actions. So let me just say that, you're not seeing them suffer or anything like that, but I do feel there is a deep-rooted lesson that they have learned, and they're learning it, in not in the easiest way, but you're starting to see the transformation that they're going through, and they're becoming a better person. Just know that when even when it comes to karma, when it comes to like karmic soulmate type of relationships, you get together, you learn your respective lessons from one another, and the relationship cannot come back together, okay? So even though they've changed, even though they're coming back and they are trying to make a proposal to you, it would be in your best interest to just let it go. Mainly because I do feel the relationship has run its course, or at least the lesson has been learned, so that they can move on and learn other lessons from other people. Because I do feel that they're pursuing you. They're pretty persistent as well. And I don't feel this is just for love, even though it's greatly indicated. It's somebody that might have hurt you very deeply in the past, coming in again to pursue you, or you are encountering a very similar energy, and all these warning signs, all these red flags are showing up, and you're just like, wow, you are exactly like the other person I just had this extensive run-in with, and the patterns are coming back through, and as a result, you are able to avoid it, and you're able to walk ahead and not let this person in your life, okay? Or at least not even hear their excuses for why they're behaving this way, because you've been through it. You know the underlying motives. I do feel, once again, going back to what I was mentioning about karma, Six of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles, what I'm sensing is one karmic relationship has definitely ended. And I do feel that it could have ended like even last year. And it could have even ended like as long ago as last year. It could have ended very recently, like within the eclipse season, especially in the time of Virgo. So which is, August 21st, roughly, to like September 22nd, I would say, September 21st, 22nd, depending on where you were born in the world. But I do feel that one karmic relationship has definitely ended, and another one has the potential to begin, okay? So this is a month that is going to bring about some very, very life-changing events, and I do feel with the Five of Pentacles, the lessons are a little bit more difficult. When it comes to the Six of Pentacles, it's all about the give and take. It's all about the emotional balance within a very karmic or an existing relationship. It can be karmic give and take between social interactions, between you and whoever it is that you're dealing with. It could be a work partner. It could be a work environment in which you really have to demand what it is that you feel you're worth. and in which, you know, the universe creates circumstances and situations in which we have to stand up for ourselves, in which we have to rightfully demand whatever it is that we think we're worth. And it sets the tone for the rest of this year. It sets the tone for the initial conditions of that work environment, of that relationship. You have to draw boundaries very early on, what it is that you want out of a relationship, which is, you know, fair, balance, and, you know, just equality. You have to really establish that up front. So now, a relationship from your past has been very, very imbalanced. It was all like ego driven. It was all about one person. It could be you or it could be the other person. I feel greatly that it's the other person. So you pretty much, you know that they're like that. You know that they're a little bit self-centered, egocentric, and possibly emotionally manipulative. Whoever it was that you've dealt with in your past as a significant relationship partner, family member, you know, interpersonal relationships. I do feel that you knew that it was all about them. You did try your best to make them into a better person. You didn't kick up much of a fuss because you are deep down very, very loving and accepting of people and their flaws. You feel, you know, you're practical enough to know that we're all here on a human level. We all have flaws. And we don't try to change one another because it's not our right, and you know, it's just not the human thing to do. Even though, you know, it's human nature to want to create perfection out of chaos. But I do feel you're starting to see the bigger picture, and you accept people for the way that they are. And because of it, they overstep their boundaries, and repeatedly they push your buttons, and at least they marginalize you, so that you end up with, you know, very little left for yourself. And you've been aware of this. This is a past relationship. Even if it's happening now, it's definitely coming to an end this month. So if it's still continuing, it's definitely going to end. The karma has been restored. The karmic scale has been restored. You're going to be much better as a result of it. And I do sense the universe is prepping you. Once this is completely wiped clean, once the karmic scale has been, you know, I feel that it's restored. So once you can emotionally let this go, there is going to be a significant relationship that is going to, another person is going to enter your life. And it is going to teach you about the lesson. The lesson is different this time. This relationship is also very karmic, but the lesson I feel is, I do sense the new lesson is for you to open yourself up and to trust people again. Whatever the situation that has happened in the past, it's got you very, you know, closed off, I feel. It's got you on guard. You're still open and honest and upfront with people, but you've become more independent. You become more like to the point where you want to go through life on your own. And the new lesson, the new person that is coming through, the new love interest that is coming through, is somebody who's very spiritual, somebody who is very, very caring. This is you know, when I look at this card, I always think about the Empress, but the Empress is very like is very earthy. The Empress is also very physical. Whereas with the High Priestess, she loves from afar. She knows how to detach, and she tries to cultivate that deeper sense of love, loving, you know, people on a human level, loving humanity, loving larger structures, loving the universe as a whole. So this is a more spiritual lesson that is coming through for you, that you're going to have to learn with the new person, okay? And the new person proves to be somebody who is very spiritual, who has been through a lot in their lives too. And I do feel that it could be somebody to restore your faith in life, okay? You're a little bit hesitant. You're a little bit obstinate about letting this new person come through. And I do feel as well, this person is somebody who is courting you. Like I said, I do feel this person has been through a lot in life. They know what it's like to suffer from heartache and disappointment. They know what it's like to love somebody on a human level, where you accept all their flaws without wanting to change them. So they are very spiritually evolved, and they're trying, the universe is handing this person to you. And this person is like multiple times, this person is following you, and they're trying to come into your life. And I do feel this is a new person. This might have been like for the past 2 months, but you haven't entered into a relationship with them because you were guarded, because you try to go through life on your own. They're like kind of like knocking on your door, and they're just like, let me in. And you don't feel that you're completely healed yet, mainly because you're still experiencing the energies of the Three of Swords with the High Priestess. You're still a little bit afraid. I feel like you trust this person, but you yourself know that you're not healed yet, because this is a not only a card of emotional, financial instability. It's also like sensing that, feeling that sense of lack of self-worth, or even feeling as if you're not 100% there emotionally in order for you to allow this person into your life, okay? So that's the thing that you're going to be grappling with for the second half of this month. And I do feel if you let this person in, there is going to be a very healing energy that comes through. And I do feel that you are somewhat fated, I would say fated to walk on this path together, especially on the same life path, to learn the same lessons and to work with one another as a unit in order to learn this lesson together, rather than, this, the new lesson seems like it's about working together, whereas the old lesson was all about self-worth, was all about deciding for yourself what you're willing or not willing to put up with in relationships. So I hope this makes sense to you. On the work front, there's definitely new projects coming through. On the romantic front, you definitely have a suitor. You definitely have a suitor coming through this month, possibly a water sign, or possibly somebody who's just very spiritual, very nurturing. But they might have a tendency to be a little bit too clingy. They call too much, they text too much, and they want constant communication from you in order to validate their sense of self-worth. So it might be somebody who is not emotionally, 100% secure with themselves. So this is something that you're grappling with, and I do feel this person is coming into your life because they are very magnetically drawn to your stability, to your self-containment. So I do feel it is the start of a good relationship as well. However, the way that it plays out down the road, you want to do some healing first, or at least let them do some healing first before you both jump into this relationship, okay?